Well, hey, there you are. Sonia here. Welcome to Out Here on the Farm. I'm glad you stopped in for a visit. Sometimes in life, we can lose a lot of faith in humanity, can't we, over things, the course of life, and what takes place, the damage that's been done to what someone has said or done, or just circumstances. Can just feel like we're broken from it. I met a person. I was told I needed to meet this person. And I was a little reluctant in doing so because of the things I was going through at the time was very trying in my life. So I walked up to them and they were sitting out in the yard in their little lawn chair, little elderly person. And I was introduced to them, shook their hand, and just for a moment our eyes glanced. And I looked into their eyes and it was like looking into pools of living water. Honestly, was an experience. And I knew that I was in the presence of someone very special. I knew that I had been introduced to someone that had experienced some very hard times in life and had a great deal of compassion. It was a moving experience, and I still just sat there and listened to them talk. And while I did, there was a healing going on in my soul, in my mind. I felt, there are some good people out there. There are some awesome people that really have compassion and care, and they can feel your pain. But I also felt the pain that they had experienced in life and how it had caused them to grow and be a strong individual. That's what happens. When we go through things, it can make us stronger. And then later on, as we were out doing ministry, I had met this little old sister. We called her Sister Catherine. And her husband was Brother Raymond. And they were the most compassionate people I've ever met in my life. They're understanding, humble, compassionate. So they invited us to come down and hold a meeting in their little building. They had a little block building. It wasn't very big. So we went down there, and they started their little song service. And her husband had electric guitar and could play that guitar like a professional. What a gifted, talented person he was. And she would sing and held her little orange songbook up and from a distance so she could see the words, I guess. And hear her sing and tears rolled down her cheeks. It was an experience that we had seen manifested before our very eyes. It was truly a blessing to hear. She'd done so many things for me through the time I met her. We went down there and held meetings for them several times. One time in particular, she got us a little trailer that we stayed in and had it just full of everything one person could ever need. Had food and clothes and just anything that you might need. And I remember her opening up a little closet door and pulling out a coat. It was a turquoise blue coat, a winter coat. And she put it around my shoulders. And she told me, she said, "You are such a blessing to be with. And I know God has something very special for you to do in your life." And as she wrapped that around me, it was awesome and gave me a little hug. What a blessing it was to know Sister Catherine and Brother Raymond. After we had meetings there, we had a gentleman that came there, and he lived down a little further in another state. He invited us to come down there. Well, we loaded up and went down there, pulled a car in their yard on empty. No, we weren't in the financial blessing area. We weren't about that. Wasn't about that. But we went anyway through faith. I guess some people might call it ignorance, but we called it faith. We pulled in there, and what happened down there was awesome as well. We also met another man that could play the guitar like you wouldn't believe. There are so many people out here that have such a gifted talent, and no one ever hears them or knows of them except a few people in their community. But they become a blessing to people, and they use their talents. They're not afraid to use their talents. They're not looking for great recognition and to become some sort of a star, which is okay to do so. But while we were there, we met his son. And his son came to me, and we were going to hold some revival meetings down there in a little river town. And he said, "Now, Sonia, I would consider it an honor to play the piano for you if you will accept me." He said, "Now, I do like to drink a little, but I promise you I won't ever drink when I come to the meetings to play. I want to be able to play the piano." I said, "We consider that as well as an honor to have you play the piano." I had no idea if he could play the piano or not, but I thought he's so humble and so honest with me. I thought, this is awesome. When he came in and sat down at that piano, I was amazed. I had never heard anyone play the piano like him in my life, nor have I since. You talk about a gifted young man and make you feel on fire, make you feel your soul was stirred. He could tickle those keys. What a gifted young man he was. It was a blessing. He played the piano for us every night that we had meetings down there. That building was something else as well. It was just a little old house that he converted into a little old church meeting place. And along on the walls were stains of watermarks in different levels. They went up like almost staircase, a ladder. And it had been where water had flooded down there in the river bottoms and had filled that house with water at some time or the other. And that was something to experience. The roof was sagging, the ceiling was sagging, and I, being quite tall, when I was walking up there where they had their little pulpit, as they call it, the piano and whatever, the ceiling would catch my hair, and I'd have to get my hair untangled. So I learned how to walk around that. But you would have never thought that what was going to take place in such a humble setting, what God did. There were people that had one time had attended those meetings at the church, their little building, and they had quit. There wasn't a pastor there. There wasn't a preacher there. There was just this gentleman that overseed the building and was the little guitar player as well. And that building was filled up as well. And he told us later that there were people that came back that had left for whatever reason, various reasons. And that showed us that when we get where we're supposed to be and do the work we're supposed to do, how blessed it can become for people and reach the people and be a blessing to them. Now, over the course of your life, you possibly have met people that really made you question what humanity is about, caused you to lose your faith in humanity in a lot of ways. But you know what? God knows just exactly what to do to heal the brokenness in our lives. He can send the right people along. It's as the word says. Sometimes we can entertain angels unaware. Now, those angels could be ministers. I looked up the definition of it, and they're messengers. Someone can come along and be as if they were an angel with a message just for you, how to reach you, how to mend your broken heart, how to mend your broken spirit. And also, I find that experience I had with that little brother that played the piano, I knew I was to find people that had talents that were doing nothing with them because of religious purposes and reasons that they felt they didn't justify I wasn't qualified to do so. If you've been given a talent, you need to put it to good use. There's a reason why you have that talent. There's a reason, there's a purpose, and there's a plan. It might not be music. It might be anything that you do. You know, there's even a blessing area of just being a parent. You can be the best parent there is. And what a calling that is. The best cook there is. Best writer, best doctor, best lawyer, even a best minister, and best musician, poet, artist, whatever your talent is. That has caused me to want to find you and to tell you you've been given that gift to use. It's best that you use it, and don't let anything deter you or stop you from it. Excel in it, put it to good use, put it to work, get busy doing what you're supposed to be doing. Have faith. There's people out here that will accept it and accept what you give, like I did with the piano player, little Ronnie. What a blessing he was to us all. And you know what? I believe it was a blessing to him because he gave something and he was accepted. See, the problem is we go around separating people and we don't have any business doing so. It's God that's called you. It's God that's blessed you with that gift or talent. And he wants you to know you can do this. You can use those talents. Somebody's out here looking for you. And they want you to know that you have the possibilities to do the best you can with what you've been given. Put forth that effort. I'm glad you stopped in today and we could talk. And so, until next time.